Hey, what's up, everybody? Alf here, talking about today's brand new Go Battle League formats. I hope you had a good Go Battle day yesterday. If you did, in fact, play, I hope it went well for you. But today, we've got a couple new formats to talk about. We've got some Master League formats rotating in, including Master League Premier Classic, which is a much discussed and wanted format, as well as the fact that we've got Love Cup coming. Both of these are formats that we have seen in the past, but there are some wrinkles. There are some new things. Some stuff has changed since the last time we've seen these formats. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to give you a little bit of a brief primer on these two formats. Nothing too fancy here. I will be live on Twitch in a couple hours. I'll be playing these formats just like I always do. So I hope you'll come check us out. All the information of that is down below. And if you want to just see maybe either of these formats in action, I have playlists from the last time they were around, so I'll link those right here during the video, and you can go take a look at those before you get your battles on. But let's start by taking a look at our formats and what's new. All right, well, the first format I want to talk about is one we've not seen in a hot minute, and that is Master Premier Classic. Last time Master League was around, I had a couple people comment like, gosh, why can't we have a Master Premier Classic? I'm like, we do, it's coming. And here it is. It's been quite a while since we've seen this, and there are three new Pokemon I want to highlight to really show off. The first, and I think the most important, is going to be Excadrill. Since the last time this format came around, Excadrill has received Mudshot, which is a huge buff. If you've battled an Excadrill in Open Master League, they did not exist before that. They're going to be even better here. Most of the most popular teams in this format involved a Steel type and a Dragon type. Say Metagross and Dragonite. Well, Excadrill kind of beats up on them both. It is going to be very, very, very interesting to see how it factors in, and something that you're going to want to have to take into consideration, as it's good against those. It's good against Charm. It's going to be quite a good Mon. The second is one you're going to be very familiar with, so I'm not going to belabor, but it's Walrein. And Walrein, believe it or not, is playable here. In fact, it's probably pretty good here if you manage to snag a perfect one that you wanted to take to level 40. Ice and ground is the perfect combination here for available moves, and it's gonna be a wrinkle that some teams are gonna have to respect. It doesn't have the best overall neutral matchups. It's not like Ultra League where it just tends to outperform everything in neutral matchups, but it is very strong, and it's going to cause some real wrinkles for a number of teams. And the last is a mon that isn't new but has had quite an upgrade, which is Garchomp. Since the last time we've seen this format, Garchomp's received Earth Power, which is a massive improvement when it comes to ground moves over Earthquake. Earthquake's a great move, but you know, it's real slow. And also Dragon Tail got a buff since the last time we've seen it here. So Garchomp, something that you absolutely want to be prepared for. You can already see sort of how these are going to shape up. Now, one thing to keep in mind, one Pokemon that I think was always very good but is going to be even more important now is going to be Gyarados. Gyarados is exceptionally good in this format. It has viable movesets in both Waterfall and Dragon Breath, so depending on where you need it, it can be very, very, very good for you. So keep that in mind. I definitely think that that's sort of, if you're looking for a potential safe swap in this format, I really like Waterfall Gary. It's always been a favorite of mine, but it's something to keep in mind. So Master Premier Classic should be interesting. Let me know if you are thinking about playing this format. This is a format that people keep asking for. I'm glad to see it finally make a return, but let me know what you think. But I think the format that most of us are going to be tackling is Love Cup. So let's take a look at what we're going to be doing there. All right, so taking a look at Love Cup, this is a great league format, and we've had this format before, but it's been a while. We have this format essentially each Valentine's Day, and it is color based. It's an interesting format. So what we call a whitelist format, in so much as it's not about, say, a specific type or category of mon. It's more about a custom list based on a theme. Now, some things have changed. The last time we had this format, XL Pokemon were available. XLs did exist, but it was so early in the lifespan of it that many Pokemon simply didn't functionally exist. And one of those Pokemon was Medicham. XL Medichams at this time last go around were pretty narrow. They weren't really much of a Pokemon that you had to worry about. Now, basically everyone playing Great League has an XL Medicham. Not everyone, but most players you run into do have that option. Medicham is the neutral powerhouse of this format. It's simply very, very good in every matchup it's not supposed to win. Although one quick reminder, if your Medichams are on Ice Punch, if that's a moveset moveset you have been rocking, you may want to drop it for this format. There's not really a lot of play for Ice Punch here. I still tend to like my double nuke, which is Dynamic Punch and Psychic. However, Power Up Punch probably a very good option in place of Dynamic Punch as well. It's going to be the mon that you're going to have to be prepared for. Now, the meta is pretty hostile to it, though, so that's good. Now, there's a couple other Pokemon that aren't pictured here that the XL meta has absolutely brought into play. They're Lickitung and Chansey specifically. I just want to call those out as Pokemon that you are going to potentially need to deal with. They're both going to be very, very strong. And guess what? Metacham claps them both, so you can work with that. Now, the other stuff that's worth noting is that the best answers for Metacham tend to be Charmers. I haven't pictured them here, but we do have more than we used to, and you are going to see them. But the really nice thing is that both fire and poison types have gotten significant buffs since the last time that we've seen this meta, and in particular Talonflame, which I think you all know anytime it's legal tends to be a powerhouse. You're going to see it here. I also want to give a little shout out to my boy Magcargo, who is definitely viable here as well. Both have received Incinerate since the last time we've seen Love Cup. I fully expect you're going to see all of them, and as a result you may want to consider one of the few water types in the format, like say Alomomola. Lastly, I want to point out Galarian Slowbro. This is a Pokemon that has really never shined anywhere, but this might be the meta for it. It's a poison type. It's also a psychic type. It has a very unique typing, has a decent set of moves, and it's pretty well set up against the meta. It's definitely something where you're not going to see a ton of ground moves coming your way, which is really one of your biggest weaknesses. Dark moves as well. There's not a lot of viable dark types here, so I actually think that Galarian Slowbro, if you've never invested in one, this might be the opportunity to use it. It might be a great little spicy core break or something for you to play around with. It's got a strong moveset. Its only downside is that it doesn't really have an effective bait move. You're kind of looking at double nukes with Psychic and Sludge Bomb, and I think it's fine. It's going to be a good mod. I think as a closer it's going to cause some trouble, and I think it'd be a fun Pokemon to use. I think I'm going to build one and play around with it, so I think that will be a good time. But Love Cup's looking interesting. The question is, are we going to run into just full ABB land with double charm or double fire or double thick boys with Chansey, Lickitung? Those are the sorts of teams that don't make these formats particularly fun. They also tend to be the teams that have the highest win rates due to the nature of GBL. So something to keep in mind. I think this format's going to be really fun for a couple days, and then I wonder if one of those teams is going to more or less solve the format. It's going to become kind of awkward, so we'll see. This is what I'm going to be playing to start, and if it doesn't really go well, I think that Master Premier Classic is actually looking pretty good. So that's going to do it for our quick and dirty just look at these new metas. Obviously there's lots of viable options in both. It's looking nice to have something new to play with. I hope you don't mind that I didn't dive too terribly deep into available teams here. I think there's plenty of great content for that, and really there's no substitute for simply playing. So again, check out those videos from the previous go rounds. If you enjoyed this video and you enjoy Pokemon Go content, hit that like and subscribe button here. It does help us grow the channel quite a lot. I do appreciate those who do it, and come check us out live on Twitch, where I stream most days of the week. I'm playing a lot of Pokemon Legends there, but I will be playing Go this week quite a bit, so I do look forward to seeing you there. Until next time, friends, cheers.